Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I'd like to discuss with you what we have achieved. When you go into history, whether it's these writers, whether it's these Freemason teachers, whether it's these fake Christians, they explained to you that you are black, you're enslaved because you are cursed, you are Ham seed, you are the Canaanites. You did mischief and God cursed you. And this is what they taught us slowly but surely growing up. Now, you don't see big lessons on this, like, Son of God type lessons or anything like this, but you do see lessons that state that the people that are black skin is cursed, right? If you damage your skin, you get a scab, it turns black. Instead of thinking, oh, look, it's healing, we think of, ooh, yucky scab. The scab matches. This is what they do to us, right? Because we're in cultural hegemony, right? Where the superior class, the class that overthrew you and stole your land, depicts how culture will be set. That's called a caste system. That's all. And today, I'm going to show you where they got it from. I'm going to show you where they're from because, something in my heart made me always stand my ground, saying that these people that call themselves white, that they are Canaanites. And we're going to see some evidences of it. We can always go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and when you look up Canaanite, it says tall white Caucasians. Then it starts to tell you about what they call black people. And then they tell you about wavy hair. And that's interesting because, black people do have what you call waves in their hair, but white people do as well. Not only do they have waves when their hair is cut low, just as some groups of black people, they have waves when their hair is long. And we visited a couple of TV shows that were from the I think 60s, 50s, 60s. I'm not quite sure about when all that stuff broadcast. Even in the 70s, but we could see white children with long hair, and when their hair reaches a certain length, it starts to wave just like the ocean. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but that mentality of both coming from one forefather, that's a bit pushy. Now, I truthfully don't mind if that's the truth, but the truth is from my studies, there's just no such thing as a black Hamite. In fact, there's no such thing as Ham. That's ignorant talk. If you want to be an ignorant people, keep calling this person that lived Ham. His real name is Cham, or it actually moved to Khan. You know how you guys teach each other Hebrew? Khan means yes. That's the answer you're supposed to always have to your master. Your master is always supposed to be Khan from their perspective. It goes deeper than Christian teaching because, again, it comes from a caste system, and it's where they get the caste system, their homeland. Now, a lot of doors opened up for us when we started searching who are the real biblical Canaanites. A lot of things opened up. Now, I'm going to show you. It's amazing. It truly is. Years and years, your biblical scholars have either not understood or not been willing to show you. I tend to believe it's actually the first. They don't understand. They don't have any clue at all. Because the idea of Jesus and the idea of Christianity is too well guarded. Individually, not in reality. In reality, you can go to many places on the earth and find this shit is fake. You can go to many books and find this shit is fake. And you can easily go to an encyclopedia and find the documents to see that Christianity is just a tool of war to gain land. Now, all that bullshit aside, I'm going to show you the truth about your heritage. This is why I've been telling you, since day one, grow your hair out. What is the root word of heritage? Hair. And you want to shave your head low all the time. Make sure you don't have any antennas. See, you get goosebumps. Your hair follicle raises up. What's in the center of the hair follicle? Of course, it's the hair. So what did that do? It took one hair and it raised it straight up. When you go in your car and you have powered antennas, you turn your car on. Boop. No offense, human body, natural erection. Boop. So you see that? If your hair, my hair, he scared me, my hair stood on end. If your hair is short, and it really can't stand on no end, can it? So you're cutting your heritage. You know, it's an antenna. But you know, I'm just some fucking idiot, right? Well, I hope you guys are ready for the roller coaster. I hope all these videos are legal to play in the United States. I know the Sinite 2 video is only allowed to be played here. It got blocked in 220 countries or some shit like that. So, Israel, or House of Israel, you guys are the only ones allowed to know. The rest of the world can't even know about the Sinites Part 2. Because the videos that were used. But you're allowed to know about Sinite Part 1. Alright, so let's take down a little memory lane and let's get right to it.
Let me show you what it's capable of in the proper hands.
Uh-oh! Catch!
The book told that it was the Thundercats, our ancestors, who first defeated Mum-Ra. The book told that it was the Thundercats, our ancestors. The book told that it was the Thundercats, our ancestors. The book told that it was the Thundercats, our ancestors. Our ancestors. Our ancestors.
Alright, so the book told that these people that used a lion symbol, our ancestors, defeated Mum-Ra. Okay, so when we look at these Egyptian temples, is there mummies in these things? Is there an act of mummification that's known through the world verbally? Not the process, but, you know, making mummies.
The book told that it was the Thundercats, our ancestors, who first defeated Mum-Ra. It was the Thundercats who brought law and order to a world of warring animals.
Now, we are now at the point of warring animals. Now, this came up. Now, you see this right here. 10 Arab states agreed to join U.S. Pay attention. Join U.S.-led military campaign against Islamic State. Now, he says, are we seeing the formation of the 10 kings? And who does he say? Everybody listen. Pay attention. Listen close.
All right, guys, this is End Time Headlines. Guys, what I'm about to show you, when I saw this article, it sent chills up my spine, especially if you know Bible prophecy. I want to.
That means if you're not reading the Bible, you don't know shit. That means anybody. That means you're running around saying, I'm an Israelite. I'm the homeborn slave written about. That means anybody can twist any little word when they recite this stuff back to you. You need to be verbaged with this, since you don't like to carry books.
Let me give you this headline first. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Quote, 10 Arab states, you guys pray for my throat too. My voice keeps going in and out. But listen to this. It says 10 Arab states agreed to join U.S.-led military campaign against Islamic State. Okay, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and 6 Gulf states, including
Canaanite. You've been watching the series, right? Canaanite and 6 Gulf states. Is that the Emirates? United Emirates? The 6 Gulf states? So are you understanding what's actually happening? The Antichrist is supposed to arise out of the, right? The 10 kings? They'll use his finances. They're fucking kings. You live in America where they talk, each man is the king of his own home. And all you motherfuckers got kicked out of your house. You don't rule over your family. Soft batch of fucking cookies. These people are we was kings. That's that Afrocentric shit. They done taught you that you was these goddamn people. Are you fucking listening? They taught you that you were these fucking Arabs. Nigger, saying nigger. Are you with me yet? They done taught you that you was these Arabs and you got this fake image in your mind. Now they constantly mock you. We was kings. No. You had dominion. Doesn't necessarily equal kingship. A kingdom has one king. How can everybody in the kingdom be fucking king? Think about what the European done did to your mind. Now, I want you to do a calisthenic. Just tingle your hands like this. Got your fingers moving. Say, we was kings. Say it real crunchy too. Now, this is the exercise. Wiggle your fingers. Now, extend your arm and smack the shit out of yourself. You were not. Don't you ever wonder when you're reading the Old Testament? You don't read. When you're reading the Old Testament and he says, if you keep worshiping these other gods, we was kings, huh? We made ourselves kings, right? Yeah, but we worshipped other gods. Shut the fuck up. You ever think about the word naught? N-O-U-G-H-T. I'm going to put you where you will not be an authority. I will send a people whom are not a people. Different things revolving around not. To bind something, to take one end of a string and to loop it into itself so it forms a knot. Now, you've been fooled, and it seems that everybody that you consider intelligent has been fooled right along with you. In fact, they perpetrate all that shit. That's why when you type in all these fucking biblical names in the King James Version, you don't find anything but nonsense. We find ancient writings about this person. That's it. Nothing modern. Like all of a sudden, all these people died off. Oh, Joshua must have did his job. Everything must have just straightened out after that. But that's not what the Bible continues to say. That's not even what the Septuagint says. So we're going to go further and we're going to understand more, because you guys fell off. You fell off the track. And, maybe it's because it's summertime, but I still see you all wasting time online. If 100 of you took one video and each of you just dissected one part, then all of us would have a book by now, wouldn't we? But no, what you guys tend to do is keep dicking around in your cities. Where does that get us? Same place we were yesterday. While Europeans rule other areas and burn up their wealth, those people, what? Revolt, boycott. Eventually, they get the Europeans out. We are so stupid, blind, and spoiled. Too much wealth within our own slavery. Because nobody wants to. Only fucking person that revolted was Nat Turner. The rest of us sit idly by and watch everybody else die. Turn to your uncle and say, hey, dumbass, you watch Malcolm X die. Turn to your dad and say, hey, you dropped the ball, you watch Martin Luther King die. It's okay. They did. Now it's your turn, and you're going to watch the rest of us die. And this is why. It's because of ignorance. Ignorance is blissful, right? So, let us find the truth. Just changed his name. He changed his name to Luft in the Classroom. Now, I did the video on the Canaanites, and he took the time to take just one name, the Arka. The Arka is unique because it deals with the Arka River, and this actually is a river that went through damn near all the tribes of India. And we're going to learn about the Himalayas and all this stuff now. We're going to learn about the Sudas people, and we're going to learn about the Aryan people, the Arya. And we're going to learn about Pushan. We're going to learn about Indra. We're going to learn about titles. Because we've lost our title. Buckle up.
The Battle of the Ten Kings is a battle alluded to in the Rig Veda, the ancient Indian sacred collection of Vedic Sanskrit hymns. The battle took place during the Middle or Main Rig Vedic period, near the Ravi River in Punjab. It was a battle between the Puru Vedic Aryan tribal kingdoms of the Bharatash, allied with other tribes of the northwest India, guided by the royal sage Vishvamitra, and the Trtsu Bharata king Sudis, who defeats other Vedic tribes. Source: KF.
So it's Sudis versus the Vedic tribes. Again.
Source: King Sudis, who defeats other Vedic tribes. Source: KF. Geldner in his 1951 translation of the Rig Veda considers the hymns as obviously based on an historical event, even though all details save for what is preserved in the hymns have been lost. Further details have been provided in an incisive discussion of this hymn by H.P. Schmidt. Location and dating. There are different accounts as to when this battle actually took place due to different hypotheses from different scholars. Some date it back to near 3000–4000 BCE, while others consider it to be dated around the 14th century.
Okay, so they dated it at 3000, right? 3000 BC to 4000 BC. Right.
It back to near 3000–4000
3000–4000
3000–4000
I'd assume that's how automated things go and produce other automated things.
4000 BCE. Date it back to near 3000.
I'm sorry, I'm so childish. I couldn't resist. Twist my bolt.
4000.
Twist my boat.
Some date it back to near 3000–4000 BC.
All right. Excuse me. That's a little perverted, but I had to share that. I shared that with my wife yesterday, and we cracked up about that. It reminds me of that robot Bender, and that's the exact reason why we need to leave this society. I want you to think about this. I'm making this video, and I'm trying to show you history, and I'm trying to show you its biblical link. And the biggest problem that the Bible does tell us is what's called perversion. Now, the perversion is actually a twisting of something. Okay? So when you meet somebody and they tell you all this stuff about them that's not true, they have twisted the actual reality of whom they are. And that's perversion. What I did in this society is called perversion. I alluded to sex. You see? And that actually is a different word. But it's not truly perversion in what we consider classical Hebrew or ancient Hebrew.
While others consider it to be dated around the 14th century BCE, the battle itself took place on the banks of the Parusni. Belligerents. The Trtsu are the tribe led by King Sudas. Sudas himself is included in the 10 kings, as the Trus are said to be surrounded by 10 kings in 7:33.5, but it is not made explicit.
So when the numbers are being given, it's the numbers in their Vedic scriptures.
How this number is supposed to be broken down. If of the tribes mentioned in 7.18, the Tervasis, Jaxus, Matsias, Burgas, Druhaya, Pathas, Balanas, Alinas, Shivis and Vizanans are counted, the full number is reached, leaving the Anavas, the Agis and Sigris and the 21 men of both Vaikana tribes without a king, and implying that Beda, Shimu, and Kavasa are the names of individual kings. The Bharatash are named among the enemies in 7.33 but not in 7.
Now the Kavasa, we should remember, because that's the Kavari River and the Arkavari River, Arkavirti and Arkavari, I believe. So this tribe would have been around those rivers. And this is an excellent point about the previous series just done on the Canaanites. Now we know a lot about their homelands and what they consider their quote-unquote great cities and great achievements during ancient times.
Named among the enemies in 7.33 but not in 7.18. Alinas, one of the tribes defeated by Sudas at the Dasarajna, and it was suggested that they lived to the northeast of Nuristan, because the land was mentioned by the Chinese pilgrim Shanzang, Anu. Some place them in the Parusni area, Brigus. Probably the priestly family descended from the ancient Kavi Brigu.
Okay, so now we're talking about a priestly family
Later, they are related to the composition of parts of the Atharva Veda. Balanas fought against Sudras in the Dasarajna battle. Some scholars have argued that the Balanas lived in the Bolan Pass area. Drew higher. Some align them with the Gandhari. Matsya are only mentioned in the RV, but later in connection with the Alva.
Now, I want you to listen close, because now we're talking about the people that are going against the priestly tribe.
Mentioned in the RV, Drew higher. Some align them with the Gandhari. Matsya are only mentioned in the RV, but later in connection.
I'm going to go back just a little bit.
Arusni area, Bragus. Probably the priestly family descended from the ancient Kavi Brigu. Later, they are related to the composition of parts of the Atharva Veda. Balanas fought against Sudras in the Dasarajna battle.
Okay, so now it switches to the Balanas, and then they express that they fought against Sudras. So prior to that, I believe the priestly family is when they're discussing Sudras. Now, it would be excellent if somebody could take this video and just listen, chop it up, hear what's being said. I'm going to show you the rest of it, because everything I want to show you is at the end of this video.
Some scholars have argued that the Balanas lived in the Bolan Pass area. Drew higher. Some align them with the Gandhari.
Drew higher, right? Now we have the Druids, right? Now, just listen.
Matsya are only mentioned in the RV, but later in connection with the Alva. Parsu. The Parsu have been connected by some with the ancient Persians. Purus. One of the major tribal confederations in the Rig Veda. Panish. Also the name of a class.
So in the Rig Veda, the Rig Veda is alleged to be ancient, and in the Rig Veda you do already have a confederacy. So this is no new word.
Federations in the Rig Veda. Panish. Also the name of a class of demons, later associated with the name of a class of demons. Also the name of a class of demons with the ancient Persians.
So even demons are fighting these people called Judas. I mean, Sudas. Hee hee. Ha ha. Hey.
Persians. Purus. One of the major tribal confederations in the Rig Veda. Panish. Also the name of a class of demons, later. One of the major tribal confederations in the Rig Veda. Panish. Also the name of a class of federations in the Rig. Panish.
Panish. Pan.
So the name of a class of demons, later associated with the Scythians. Background. Hymn 7.
Demons associated with the Scythians or Scythians.
Later associated with the Scythians.
Schism.
One of the major tribal confederations in the Rig Veda. Panish. Also the name of a class of demons, later associated with the Scythians. Background. Hymns 7.18 and 7.83 are dedicated.
So this is the background of it, and these are the hymns dedicated to expressing what's going on.
To Indra and Indra paired with Varuna, respectively. They thank the deity for helping Sudras to defeat his enemies, while hymn 7.33 is addressed by Vashista's descendants to Vashista, praising him for moving the gods to take Sudras' side by his prayers. They describe him as a son of Mitra and Varuna. The hymn stresses the importance of the priests in winning Indra's favor. They had invoked Indra while they had moved away from.
So listen, in ancient times, the enemy of this Sudis people, and King Sudis, so the enemy calls Sudis the son of Mithra and Vyana.
Invoked Indra while they had moved the son of Mitra and Gods to take Sudras' side by his prayers. They describe him as a son of Mitra and Varuna. The hymn stresses the importance of the priests in winning Indra's favor. They had invoked Indra while they had moved away from.
Now, I can't tell you which video it is, but it's on screen, on my screen. And it's going to explain that these Hindu names are just titles. They express that The Hindus make images to represent the action of one main god. But I don't really believe this, because once they start saying children and they start expressing bloodlines, then you have something that's a little different than just, an image, an idol representing, a main god.
Home. The situation leading up to the battle is described in 7:18.6. The Turvasis and Yaxis, together with the Matsya tribe flocking together, appear and ally themselves with the Brigus and the Druhaya. Their confederation was further increased by the Padas, the Balanas, the Alinas, the Shivis and the Vaisanans, while the Trus relied solely on the help of the Arya's comrade, Indra. The battle. The warriors of...
Now, what she is saying is she's saying Tritsu. She's expressing there is a confederacy of 10 main kings. There's a total of 21 kings. Whether she understands this or not. Tritsus is what she is saying. Or Tritsus tribe. And you see it all leads back to the list of Rigvedic and Battle of the 10 Kings. Now, if you type in Battle of the 10 Kings, you'll get a biblical battle from, because we're looking for something ancient, right? So it's called the Battle of Siddim. Well, this battle is a battle with 9 kids. Lot, and that deals with Abraham. It's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the battle with, actually I think it is. So yeah, this is the 10 King War. So even the Rig Veda comes up right here. But we're looking for the battle with the Judas. And this is well expressed in the book of Jashir. And Judas isn't the name that takes place yet. We look for Judah. And it still points us at the Battle of Siddim. Alright, so now those of us that have read the Bible, then we know some of the feats that Judas or Judah and the other patriarchs completed. Now, what we haven't heard is this version, an Indian version.
Judas are described as white-robed, wearing hair knots on the right side of their...
Now, I want you to listen very closely. Judas description, Sudas description.
Are described as white-robed, wearing hair knots on the right side of their...
Hair knots. Now, listen.
The warriors of Judas are described as white-robed, wearing hair knots on the right, solely on the help of the Arya's comrade, Indra. The battle. The warriors of Sushan was further increased by the Padas, the Balanas, the Alinas, the Shivis and the Vaisanans, while the Trus relied solely on the help of the Arya's comrade, Indra. The battle.
So, the Trutsus family or tribe only relied on the help of this god titled Indras. This isn't a god named Indras. This is a god titled Indras. Now, I'm not trying to trick you or fool you. It's laid out for you. Now, I'm going to show you this shit right here. Let's go back. That's fine.
The warriors of Sudas are described as white-robed, wearing hair knots on the right side of their heads, having...
Okay, so white-robed, wearing hair knots on the right side of their hair. Okay, so let's see, what is a knot? Because we talked about knot earlier, but what is a knot? All right, so this is what a knot is. Okay, so when you say hair knots, that's pretty interesting. So let's say, what are hair knots? And this is what they show you. They show you this. These are hair knots. Now, notice when I say hair knots, they only show you one race of people. Okay, and this is kind of interesting. Now, this is where kind of, now, listen, the detective in you should be saying, wait, whom uses the phrase not? Now, the word not is actually a cultural thing. Now, if you look in your Bible, it is of your culture. And you ever notice when you read that Bible, it talks about wearing white robes? And this said that the Sudas people, the warriors of Sudas, wore white robes into battle. So I'm going to show you something else. So if we type in knotted braid, okay, or knotted hair, okay, that's just what came up, right? Oh no, now it's changing. So if you say knotted hair, this is what they show you. There you go. Look, you got one person. This is mermaid knot hairstyles. Never heard of anything like that, but that's great. So there you got a little bit. Other than that, it's just tangled hair, right? Now I'm gonna show you this. Here we go. Oh, type go. Afro knots. You know, like cosmonauts, astronauts, Afro knots. Okay, so then you see something that's different. You see a style instead of a mess, right? Here's, oops, see, I have to type in braid. I have to type in braid to get a pattern, right? All the warriors wore knots to the side of their head, to the right side of their head. I have to type in braid. But if I type in hair, I get a mess until I start to see some of this. Now, if I just change the culture and type in Afronauts, it's just so funny how it sounds. Oh, this is cosmonaut floating up in gel. Can't reach space. Never mind. Anyway, Afronauts, and you start to see to the right side, right? They wore white, and their hair was to the right side. I think that's kind of interesting. Kind of a dead giveaway. On top of that, there's only one person, one group of people that say knots. Now there's sailors, but that's not a people group. Type in knot, and any people group come to mind. Only one to me, and so I would have to I would have to type in Celtic knot. And then this stuff then matches hair, right? When it's, you can see my point, right? So it seems that the Celts' language is here.
While the truce relied solely on the help of the Arya's comrade, Indra. The battle. The warriors of Sudais are described as white-robed, wearing hair knots on the right side of their heads, having flying banners. While the 10 kings do not sacrifice, it appears that Sudais managed to cross the Parusni safely, while his foes trying to pursue were scattered by a flood and either drowned or were slaughtered by flee, while his foes trying to pursue were scattered by a flood and either drowned or were slaughtered by sacrifice. It appears that Sudais managed to cross the Parusni safely, while his foes trying to pursue were scattered by a flood and either drowned or were slaughtered by Sudais' men. 18.9 as to their goal they...
Now, not only do we have one priestly tribe of people whose warriors dress in white and knot their hair to one side, we have them in an ancient battle against 10 kings, 21 kings broken into 10 divisions. Now we have this tribe of people only relying on one facet of what we consider the title to be God. So we have this tribe only depending on God versus 21 kings in 10 divisions. Now, these people and their king, Sudais, cross a river. They name the river. We can always look up the river and blah, blah, blah. They cross the river, and when they do this, what happens? A flood occurs and wipes out the remaining warriors that are fighting against this priestly group of people whom are only relying on this one title of what they call God. It's very interesting, right?
Were scattered by a flood and either drowned or were slaughtered by Sudais' men. 18.9 as to their goal they sped to their destruction. They sought Parusni. E'en the swift returned not. Indra abandoned to Sudais the manly, the swiftly flying foes, unmanly babblers. 18.9 They went like kine unherded from the pasture, each clinging to a friend as chance directed. They who drive spotted steeds, sent down by Prsna, gave ear, the warriors and the harnessed horses. Kavasa and the Druhu were overwhelmed by Indra, while still in the water. The slain warriors of the Anu and Druhu numbered 6,666.
Did you hear that? 6,660, not 666, 6,666 warriors were drowned. Oh wait, is it drowned or just died?
Were overwhelmed by Indra, while still in the water. The slain warriors of the Anu and Druhu numbered 6,666. In the aftermath of the battle, the Baratash under Sudais received tribute from the Agis, the Sigris and the Yaxis, and Indra destroyed the 7 fortifications of the enemies, and gave the treasures of Anu to Sudais. 18.17 stresses
gave the treasures of Anu to Sudais, right?
That this was a victory against all odds, compared to a
against all odds. One tribe of people against 21 kings broken into 10 divisions of leadership, or basically 10 kings. Hence the battle of 10 kings.
Defeating a lion. Adaptations and
Oops.
To a lamb defeating a lion.
A lamb defeating a lion. Did you hear that?
18.17 stresses that this was a victory against all odds, compared to a lamb defeating a lion. Adaptations and retellings. According to Erdős, the Battle of Ten Kings provided a prototype for the epic Mahabharata, an idea which Hilty Beitel calls of particularly baffling fancy. Contemporary Indian novelist Ashok K. Banker's 2014 historical novel Ten Kings, Disarajna, is based on the Battle of Ten Kings.
Yay! Okay, so you thought that was something. Well, let's hear what Let Us Find the Truth has to say. And I think, I might just play this one all the way out because, I'll try my best. This one's pretty good.
Good evening. It is 9/15/2016, and I just want to read, and this is just going to be the reading of Suda's Battle with 10 Tribes. And
now this is blown up on your screen. Now anything that he reads, you can see the name and you can look it up yourself. The famous Dasra, Janya, that way. Okay,
I'm not going to really talk about this. I'm just going to read it so that from henceforth we can always look back to this video to look at this or hear it again. So this is Suda's Battle with the 10 Tribes, hymn 718. And it's translated by Kant Singi. The hymn is famous as an account of the famous Dasrahanya battle, the Battle of 10 Kings. As my translation shows below, this is a misunderstanding. Suda's war was with 21 kings. It may be that they belonged to 10 tribes in all, and these 10 tribes are named in the hymn. A number of other misunderstandings based on previous faulty translations are also cleared in the below work. For example, it's clear that there was no Matsya tribe involved in this battle. Sudas was himself a Brahta, Aja, Sigru, and Yakshu were not his enemies. Now, I know I'm going to read, but for clarity, I want to look up a word, and the word is him. Just for clarity, I want to look this up. And then we'll continue to read. Alright, so a hymn is a religious song around about 1000, year 1000, from Old French Yemni, I don't know, and Old English Wyman or Yemen, both from late Latin hymnus, song of praise, from Greek hymnos, festive song or ode in praise of gods or heroes, also sometimes of mournful songs, used in Septuagint to translate several Hebrew words meaning song praising God, possibly a variant of hymneos, wedding song, from Hymen, Greek god of marriage, or as per Watkins, from a Pi root, sam, to sing. Source also of Hittite, Ishamai, he sings. Sanskrit, saman, hymn, song. Evidence for the silent N dates from at least 1530. Sama. Oh, so the N is silent. Forgive me. That is sama. Sama. Okay. So it's a song of praise, a song of rejoice, right? That's what it is. So let's go read. So it's a song of praise. So what we're about to read is some form of poetry, a song of praise, some form of poetry. So the war is over, a celebration.
So a song of praise is a soma. But here we call it a hmm. Now think about it. H, remember we did het. H is that's the sound H is truly supposed to make. Hell. L. There is no L. Hell. Hell. Hello. You're really just saying hello. Y highlights the word before it, right? Right? And the word after. Y is a vowel. M and then N. Everybody try to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, M. Now, when you say all that together, not the whole alphabet, M, N, right? M, N, right? Y, H, M, N, right? Really? That's really the word that they tell you you should pronounce it him. Why? Because it's H-I-M? No, technically it would be pronounced like things that make you go I mean, just think about that one for a minute.
So it's a song of praise. So what we're about to read is some form of poetry, a song of praise, some form of poetry. So the war is over. A celebration has been organized to facilitate Indra and Sudas. People.
Do you get it? See, somebody saw you singing. See, you heard God inwardly, and they saw you outwardly. They're not like you. So they thought, how could they hear God? Because I can't hear God. You understand that? So their perception of you is you are particular. You, particular person, while they view you, it makes them say, will
have come from far to pay tribute. All right. Cherished by ancestors, Indra, the world has loved you since the ancient times till the present. So, nope, I'm not going to explain. I'm going to read. Forgive me. To you.
So whoever is writing this can clearly see that whoever Indra is, the world has always known Indra. Now, to us, this is ancient writing, but to this ancient writer, there is a more ancient history, and they even express that phrase, or the trend, you can see it says since ancient times till present.
We sing for milk cows, fast horses, wealth, O Lord, will all our devotion.
So who we pray to is the Lord, there's only one Lord, but the one that sends us to the land of milk and honey, right? So look how in this situation they're praying for what? They pray for milk, what? Fast cars, money, right? Same thing that's going on. Ooh, I want. Man has been turned into God, so just verbally chanting, I want, right? And then this I dream a genie spell has come over us. Now all of a sudden our dedication to get it comes into play. And as our options or quote unquote opportunities dry up, this is when we resort to what? The programs that have been placed on us by the oppressor to what? Lie, cheat, and steal, which what? Leads to theft, rape, and robbery. Oh, I put those out of order, right? Theft, rape, and murder. Said the wrong one, didn't put them out of order. Here we go.
King of Kings.
So, anybody ever hear the phrase King of Kings? See, I got another video on here, and we'll get to it. And it expresses that these people of India look at these as facets of God, all different titles.
Lord of Lords, host of hosts. O King of Kings, you are known for showering your generous donations upon the wise sages since ages. I shall open up my window. Shut up. All right, I'm just going to read. Forgive me. Let me start again, and I'm going to control myself and just read. All right?
Now,
Cherish.
here you say, right here, upon the wise sages since ages. Now, Indra is garland. So garland is what? When they put a ring around you, your wife in Hawaii, they put a whatever they call it around your neck.
By ancestors, Indra. The world has loved you since the ancient times to the present. To you we sing for milk cows, fast horses, wealth, O Lord, will all our devotion. O King of Kings, you are known for showering your generous donations upon the wise sages since ages. Indra, quoted, Indra is garlanded, so there, at this point in time, what? You see, I can't help myself but to explain everything. I really have to teach myself to just sip it. And this is so hard for me. I don't think y'all understand. This is very hard. O King of Kings, you are known for showering your generous donations upon the wise sages since ages. We adorn you, Lord, with our praise to cause us to have cattle, horses, good fortune, our hero. Here wholeheartedly with pleasing voices we worship your divine form. We had prayed to you, O heavenly King, that you consider our respectful prayer for protection. We had sacrificed a cow for you. We had cherished you by sprinkling milk upon you. The Vasistas had garlanded you and prayed to you. We had called upon you, O chief of the world, and you, Indra, had understood our prayer. Thanks to the devotion displayed by Sudas, Indra had made the speeding waters easy to cross, that made Simyu the most despairing one to decry the river, shouting at it with a new curse. Puru and Travasu were as eager to attack as fish out of water. The hurt and unhappy circle from Birgu to Druyu.
Now remember that the Trit suits were alone. So these are the different formations and the different kings.
Friend had called friend to cross over from both sides. On came the Paksas, the Balanas, calling Alinas, Visandins, and Sivas. To the Araya's aid came the singer Tritsu mercenaries to support him with pleasure. And the difficult to cross, free-flowing, unconcerned, uncontrollable Parusni, great spreading, regal dropping down the mountains full of cattle, regarded highly by sages and poets. They failed to control her. The fast flowing swallowed them in her currents. Sudas had prayed to Indra to kill the unfriendly people, talking derisively, saying to the Lord, the guardian, to avert losses, to make possible for his friend.
Do you see that right there? That's critical right there. Okay, so what's going on is there are enemies on both sides of the river. The Sudas people crossed the river onto one enemy who's calling over to the other enemy tribes to come and cross. When the enemy crosses, the river gets wild and starts drowning the forces that are chasing. During the war, see, they failed to control her, the river, right? During this war, Sudas prayed to Indra. How does he pray? sang to the Lord. Now understand the Psalms of David. What does David do? David sings to the Lord. This is a psalm to the musician written by David, right? Sang to the Lord. This is the important of the hymn, right? Or the soma. A particular people we came across made us go, because they were singing as they faced the air, the sky. So, sang to the Lord, the guardian. Does not our Lord say to us, I am your shield? No other God. Now, what do the Canaanites do? What do the Canaanites do? What do the Canaanites of India do? They have many gods. They have a pantheon of gods. They have a house of gods. Is that not what happened to Jerusalem before King David? The Canaanites controlled Jerusalem.
Speedily moving, sent down by force the burning arrows, he effectively warded off with ease. 21 kings of various tribes were killed, nay, butchered or laid low. The wonderful waters were granted freedom of the blockade and let loose by Indra. Underwater went old Kavasa, and Driyu, cursing the Vahra holder. We praise the friend of friends. You sent down that I knew. You sent down.
Cursing the Vahra holder as they went down, as they were drowning, they were cursing.
That I knew who was unhappy with you. Soon as the speeding stream had caused havoc all over, Indra led bravely, overtaking and scattering, seeking a portion of all the wealth. Even Peru had joined hands with the scoffers.
You see that? He's stating even his own cousin, who is called Peru, joined hands with the 21 kings, broken into 10 divisions or 10 kings of leadership.
He too went to long sleep, like Anu and Driyu. 6,666 of world's most famous and celebrated heroes were massacred.
The world's most famous and celebrated heroes were just massacred. You understand that? By water.
Indra had consumed Tritsu's water, even though they were low on resources. Nevertheless, with a roar, he drove out the unfriendly, capturing the worldly possessions of the irreverent. Half the warriors succumbed to the bravery of Indra. The rest perished in the floods. Passionately, Indra roared angrily, sent them down the course of destruction. Passionately,
half the warriors succumbed to the bravery of Indra. The rest perished in the floods. 3,000 died by the arrows. The other 3,000 died by what? Water.
Indra roared angrily, sent them down the course of destruction. Holding concentration, he eliminated them, like how a wildcat concentrates when hunting down a ram. Having selected just one quick brown horse for himself, Indra has handed all the spoils over to Sudas. Indeed, numerous hostile enemy soldiers you subdued on oath.
So listen to this. So they make it sound like the title they're calling God, or this facet of God, these actions of God, they call Indra. And they're saying that he took control of this river and took down these 3,000 people, as if you can equate it to a cat a wildcat, wildcats or bobcats, which is a spotted lynx. Okay, so a wildcat taking down a ram. Now, by doing this, the only thing he wanted for himself is what? One horse.
Tore through them, cut them down, and gave them death, the hymns of the sacrificers you listened to. You moved forward, leading with your swift bolt, O Indra. Celebrate, Indra, the damn.
Now, you know what a bolt is, right? Swift bolt. A bolt is an arrow. Now, an arrow is a thin piece of material, whether it be wood or fiberglass, and a bolt is a thick, usually wood or fiberglass.
That others had built he broke, and the enemy on both banks was washed away. Aya, Sigru, and Yakshu have joined the celebrations to pay tribute. They have brought in as presents a selection of their topmost speedy horses. No one is as respected as you, Indra. No king like you was seen before and will never be. Devak, the son of Manyamana, you had killed. Certainly hurt Sambar, the coward. For these deeds of seizure and subduing, Parsar, Satyatu, and Vasista praise you to enjoy your enduring friendship. O bright as sun, O fulfiller of desires. Sudas, the grandson of Devavata, has given us 100 cows and a mare-driven chariot. Fire is the proof. Pyahavan's donation will always draw high prize. All over Pyahavan's donation and bestowment are hereby decreed a deed indeed above all. He occupies the top position amongst kings. He is a man amongst men. His praise flows all over. These waters and the land between these waters, portion by portion, he has divided. Portion by portion, he has divided.
Now, when we take into consideration the book of Jashir, just like Let Us Find the Truth is pointing out here, portion by portion, he has divided. Now, in the book of Jubilees, in the book of Jubilees, we know that the land masses are divided amongst the children of Noah, right?
And distributed amongst all those who supported him. Hail Indra, he purged countless in the war. He killed them and spread terror amongst the enemy. The Maruta men supported Devodasa's descendant, Sudas, against his enemies. Those filled with contempt for Sudas, who were said to be almost impossible to defeat, they were either slaughtered or submerged indeed.
Okay, so let's look at that one more time. The Maruta men supported Davodasa's descendant Sudas against his enemy. Those filled with contempt for Sudas, who were said to be almost impossible to defeat, were either slaughtered or submerged. All right, so there we have the story right there. Now I'm going to see what we're going to go to next. All right. First we'll go to Sudas, and Sudas deals with the Indo-Aryan, right? And this is what they claim. Now we've already gone over their own description. White robes, knotted hair to one side. Tribal king of the Bharatas, or Bharatas, during the main or middle Rig-Vedic period. So they call it 14th century BC. Yeah, whatever. So he led his tribe to victory in the Battle of the Ten Kings near the Parusni or Ravi River in Punjab, defeating an alliance, a confederacy of the powerful Puru tribes with other tribes for which he was enloixed, whatever that means, by his, I don't know what that means, but in a hymn, it's discussed. His victory established the ascendancy of the Bharata clan. It's a tribe over here, then they win and it becomes a clan. I don't understand how that works. Allowing them to move eastwards and settle in Kurukshetra, paving the way for the emergence of the Kuru, the super tribe, or tribal union of which dominated northern India in the subsequent period. He was the son or descendant of Divodasa. Divodasa was a descendant of SRN, whatever, who in turn was a descendant of Devada. Devada. His name means giving well, an S stem either from the root das or, with an extra S added to avoid the archaic sound in Suda, which would easily be mistaken for a feminine name. Sudas can differ, mean one who gives beautiful gifts, bountiful, giver of great gifts. Okay, so here we have that. Let's go to the next one. We have the Battle of the Ten Kings. Okay, so you can always look up the Battle of the Ten Kings, and you can see it's real short read. It says it's obviously based on a historical event, wink, 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 so we're going to go a little bit further. This is a clip of Alexander the Great versus the Indian Raja. Now, I want you to think about something. One of the last videos I showed you was out of the book of Josephus. Before I took the videos down, one of the last videos I showed you was out of the book of Josephus. And I showed you that there was a Jesus that was wicked and died in the temple. And I also showed you in the next chapter from that, it expresses that Alexander, the Greek, how everybody states, but the Greeks were black. Alexander the Great goes to Jerusalem and he doesn't conquer it. He goes in there and he bows down and he starts worshiping. Now, here's something kind of interesting. Here's Hollywood for you. Now, I don't think I can really play this, so I'll just show you a picture from a clip. Now, here's the Greek coming in, and he's going up against this guy on the elephant. Now, I want you to see something. Over here, there's guys in the background, and they're going to try to defend the king riding the elephant. So, you see them going head to head. And these guys in the background right here, they're going to be highlighted here in a second. All right, so as these two clash, then these guys come up, right? Now, I want you to get an image of this, all right? Now, this is the image of the Indian that they're showing you, all right? So, a couple of people have wrote to me. When I see in my Bible, and they state the Bible that they have, where I see in the Zondervan this or that, it says Ham. It uses the fake name Ham. It does not give you the name Cham. It gives you the fake name Ham, and it says it's the progenitor of the dark races. Now, looking at this person, you can clearly see that he looks kind of like you, but he is not like you at all. Now, you can see he is dark skinned. You understand there are dark-skinned Indians. There are dark-skinned Indians. There are Indians that are darker than a lot of us. I don't know the percentages. I don't know if it's 6 and 10. I don't know if it's 2 and 10. It just doesn't matter. You need to understand this. These are Canaanites. All right. So here is this Indian TV show. I'm not going to play this either. But as you can see, it's called Kanakya. Kanakya. All right. So anytime you play through these, you know, it's I believe it's dealing with their connection with Rome. Keep trying to mute this and it won't mute. Be nice. Oh, it's muted. All right, so can't get a close-up of anybody. So compared to, okay, they're going to play an ad for me clicking on that. So I'm just going to, but compared to Caucasians, these people still have dark skin. And, you know, I'm not going to get my point across unless I let the commercial play. So yeah, I don't want it to play either. So, you know, again, compared to the Caucasian, these are a darker people as well. Oh, this is anti-close-up moment, you know, so we're going to move on from there. I don't need this one up anyway. So we're going to go over here. We're going to look at this other video. Now, these are pretty interesting. So we're going to watch these.
Religion of any community should have the following aspects: the philosophy behind the religion, deities they worship, the way of worship or the ceremonies associated with the religion. Of these aspects, I am restricting the scope of this short treatise to discuss some of the important deities they worship and show them to be of Tamil origin. This is because the whole of Mayan religion is very complex, as it has many regions, and the same god is called in different names in different regions. Moreover,
you hear that? The same god is called different names in different regions. So this is the same aspect of the Hindu religion as well. And I think this is interesting because this kind of shows that their religions are, you know, connected mentally. Now, when you see that the Canaanites controlled the temple and they fell, and people, you know, let us find the truth. He's been showing us that first the Mayans controlled their own temple, then they were overthrown. Or how should we say, the Quiche controlled their own temple, then a different group came in and overthrown them and pushed them north into the, you know, where we are here. This is why you can find Mayan temples all through North America.
there had been gods of different periods, like pre-classic period, classic period, post-classic period, and post-Spanish period, etc.
So there's the name of this. You can always pick this up and watch it yourself.
Hence, I am dealing only with the prominent deities of the pre-classic and classic period and of the main Mayan region. The revelations I am going to make here would be of great consequence.
Yeah, I'm going to go up further.
Asivagam, chiseled out by Adi Shankara in India around 800 AD. It's Zamna. He is also called Zamna, and hence the 8 prefix does not seem to have any meaning. He is known as creator god. He is an aged god. He contributed to writing. He contributed to knowledge in agriculture. He contributed to astronomy and the Mayan calendar. He also contributed to medicine. We shall now recollect the Tamil scenario. We know that Tamil itself was developed as a great language, including its written form, by contributions from Asivaka Siddha, who were also called Amana or Samana. Shiva, Muruga, Agatya were the prominent among them. It is this Amanar or Samanar who developed every art form in Tamil over a
All right, I know his voice is a little hard to understand. He said saints are called Amana. Now, this is going to be important.
period of 20,000 years. Shiva, Ravana, and Vishnu were great astronomers. Ravana and Vishnu developed calendar systems. Almost every ancient Tamil Amana was a medic who practiced herbal medicines. Murugan developed martial art, which spread to east through Bodhidharma as karate and kung fu, etc. Ravana and Agatyar were great musicians. Veena, the musical instrument, was invented before Ravana era itself. The authentication for this shall be had from a previous video, biblical proof for the pre-Diluvian technologies of Tamils. Now comparing Zamna with Amanar or Samana, the ancient Asivaka Siddha of Tamils, Amana, Samana, Zamana, Zamna. We realize that the name Amana or Samana of Tamils deformed to Mayan Zamna. As Mayan Zamna is aged old, it could have been actually Brahma, the symbolic representation of any great Amana of Tamil.
Now, Pariya. Pariya means great. Amana means saint. Okay? So,
Periya plus Amana, Peramana, Piramana, Brahmana, Brahma. Hence, every great Amana was called Brahma. Brahma was the embodiment of knowledge and wisdom. But Brahma was not a creator god as per Tamil philosophy. Tamils never had any creation story and they accepted evolution of mankind starting from small life forms. Tolkappiyam, an ancient encyclopedia of Tamils, describes how man of six senses evolved starting from single sense organism. Hence, Mayans.
okay, so here you have creationism at the heart of Hindu philosophy and religion. Now, they've expressed they believe man started as a single cell. And they showed you pictures of worms and shit, so they want you to believe that you started from a single cell and through these miraculous growth that you'll eventually evolve into these entities, right? But that's not for you. It's to pump out children from these things. This is why a minute ago when he said Brahma is not a creator god, this already puts a hole in their belief that all these different names represent the same God, because they can't. If you're telling me blah 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 is a child of or son of, then that means it was here pumping out children with flesh.
Embodiment of knowledge and wisdom. But Brahma was not a creator god as per Tamil philosophy.
Not a creator God. Now, if the fallen angels come down and they lay their seed into men, then that makes them what? The father of that makes them creators. And this is their point that they're always trying to get across. We created what? Humans. Right?
Tamils never had any creation story and they accepted evolution of mankind starting from small life forms. Tolkappiyam, an ancient encyclopedia of Tamils, describes how man of six senses evolved starting from single sense organism. Hence, Mayans.
And see, then they push the sixth sense, right? You only have five senses. Right? So they want to push the sixth sense. And that sixth sense is what? Well, nobody can describe it. It's an awareness, right? Ladies and gentlemen, I really don't want to put myself in a box saying there is no sixth sense, but this is just to say there's something greater to achieve. Now, I understand we can all be better people, but this is a point of some of their focus on religion where people decide to reject this or reject that and live a certain way. I'm not saying that's wrong at all. That's actually respectful, and you can actually see that in other cultures. But unfortunately, this is within other Canaanite cultures. Now, if this is them separating that from their main religion, that's one thing. But they still title it under another religion. So
Calling him as the god of creation is the only irking point which is against Tamil's definition. But this is understandable that well before the construction of Angkor temple, Tamil's Asivakam was corrupted into Hinduism by the so-called Indo-Aryans after killing all the Amana in Tamil land by ruthless means.
Now I'm going to play that again. Listen very close. After the construction of the Hindu temple. Now, he just told you who created the Hindu temple. Listen.
Temple, Tamil's Asivakam was corrupted into Hinduism by the so-called Indo-Aryans.
The Indo-Aryans.
After killing all the Amana in Tamil land by.
After killing all the Amana in Tamil land.
Ruthless means.
In Tamil land. Okay, so let's say who taught Tamil. See, he brings it up here in the beginning. It's Tamil connection, right? So when we look at this, he's talking about the construction of Angkor Wat,
which is again
the worship of a particular creator god or the creator god that he's not approving of.
In Tamil's definition. But this is understandable that well before the construction of Angkor temple, Tamil's Asivakam was corrupted into Hinduism by the so-called Indo-Aryans.
By the Indo-Aryans.
After killing all the Amana in Tamil.
After killing all the saints.
Land by ruthless means. They then reconfigured Brahma as a god.
They then reconfigured Brahma by Indo-Aryans. Now here's the thing. Now watch.
Of creation to politically elevate the Indo-Arya Brahmins as a chosen people of the god.
Now, listen again. It says the Indo-Aryans killed off all the saints and then reconstructed.
Which is against Tamil's definition. But this is understandable that well before the construction of Angkor temple, Tamil's Asivakam was corrupted into Hinduism by the so-called Indo-Aryans after killing all the Amana in Tamil land by ruthless means. They then reconfigured Brahma as a god of creation to politically elevate the Indo-Arya Brahmins as a chosen people of the god, cleverly using the theological route. Just like Angkor Wat reflects the corrupted Tamil religion, the Mayans were corrupted too due to the trade connections with the Tamil land during the Hinduism era. That is how Itzamna, the Brahma of the Mayans, came to be called the god of creation, while his other attributes reflect the original Amana tradition of Tamils. Such a distortion is seen even for Vishnu, as we shall see later. Chak. He is the god of rain for the Mayans, and he wields a lightning axe. The god of rain who wields a lightning axe is called Indra in Tamil context. Kindly watch my treatise, True.
Now, when we're going to listen to this, because when we just listen to the Battle of the 10 Kings, they make a claim that Indra is whom is doing the action for the Sudas people and their king Sudas.
Identity of Indra, the sky god. Indra is a title name in Tamil, and it means that he possessed 5 skills.
Now, you understand that? Indra is a title name, and it just means he possesses man of 5 skills. The sky god, lightning, thunder, right? Read the 10 Commandments. After the 10 Commandments, what's the next thing it says? Lightning and thunder erupted, right? And the people backed away, saying, Moses, you talk to him and just talk to us. We're afraid of him.
True identity of Indra, the sky god. Indra is a title name in Tamil, and it means that he possessed 5 skills. One of the 5 such skills was called floating in the sky due to levitation. He could float above the clouds and hence was able to forewarn his people about the coming of rain or storm. That is how he came to be called the god of rain in Tamil land. He was the son of Ravana, the saint king of Lanka. He acquired all the 5 dramatic skills called Panchama Siddhigal.
Now, you have Indra just being a title. But now he's the son of somebody else. You see what I mean? See the game they play?
He acquired all the 5 dramatic skills called Panchama Siddhigal for the first time in the world due to Kundalini.
Let's go back a little bit. I want you to hear that on your own.
Is how he came to be called the god of rain in Tamil land. He was the son of Ravana, the saint king of Lanka. He acquired all the 5 dramatic skills called Panchama Siddhigal for the first time in the world due to Kundalini Yoga that he successfully performed. Kundalini Yoga is also called Chakra Yoga as it tames the 7 hypothetical chakras, the energy centers of the body. As he successfully performed Chakra Yoga, he was also called Chakran. The Tibetan Buddhists can't pronounce R sound and hence he was called Chaka or Saka among Buddhists. Chakran, Chakra, Chaka, Saka. The same way, the Mayans came to know of him as Chaka, which...
All right, so now you see he's riding a hybrid beast, right? 3-headed elephant. All right, so you see the elephant trunk here in the Mayan. So the picture of this is more so of the elephant. You can see this, the body of the elephant right there. And, so I guess this is the image of him standing on the elephant. I'm not sure.
Deformed to chalk. Indra was known all around the world due to his dramatic skills. Saka, the Indra, was known to drink lots of soma, which was nothing but a potion rich in DMT, like a house cow.
Now, here's where it's connected to something that we've already done. We've already looked at Ahaska, right? Now, soma, isn't that what is a him? What is a right? He's known to drink lots of what? Soma. And they say soma is DMT. Now listen to me very carefully. I'm encouraging the use of DMT. I'm not encouraging the use of seeking DMT. I'm not encouraging chakra or shit or any of that. I'm showing you the connection that's been placed in front of me. Now you see, we did the Canaanites. We did the 11 tribes of the Canaanites. And it leads right back to all this. Let us find the truth. Does Arca in etymology break, and it leads in a completely different direction, and he finds the Battle of the 10 Kings. Battle of the 10 Kings shows us all sorts of things. So this leads, I mean, that leads to this. So, still got your seatbelt on, right?
In DMT, like a house cow.
Now, isn't it funny that soma
in DMT
leads to Ahaskua? And we were just discussing Ahaskua. I guess it'd be about 20 videos ago.
Like a house cow. Hence, Japanese brewed liquor is called Saka. The Balinesian calendar was called Saka calendar, as the original calendar was developed by Ravana, the astronomer, the father of Saka. Even Saka too would have contributed to that calendar by his father. Hence, there is no wonder that Mayans know of him, as the very name of the Mayan civilization was derived from the title name of the maternal grandfather of Indra, the Chak. The Mayan pyramids were built off the technology from Mayan, the acclaimed ancient architect, the father-in-law of Ravana, and hence the Mayans were originally Tamils, And they had trade connections too with the Tamils, even as late as 1000 AD, after which it collapsed as the Mayans abandoned their city-states.
So there is a part 2. So that's Mayan religion and its Tamil connection. And part 2, I don't know. This might be it. And it is. Excuse me.
Kukulkan. Kukulkan is called the feathered serpent god. It is a serpent with wings to fly, and it has a human head in its mouth. Nobody knows what it represents till today, and some even call him as alien. The Tamil perspective would properly identify him, as we shall see. In Chichen Itza, there is a pyramid called El Castle, so named after the Spanish conquest, which is dedicated to the god Kukulkan. It is actually the temple for Kukulkan. What is special about this pyramid? This pyramid has square base and it is a stepped pyramid of 9 steps. At each side, there is a staircase leading to the top. Each staircase has 91 steps. If we add all the 4 sides, it amounts to 364, and including the throne, taking it as a step, the total comes to be 365, the number of days in a year.
Okay, we're going to go to this one. Saw that. Let's get up to this one.
It was very easy for me to establish the identity of Kukulkan. Hence, we have established that Kukulkan was nothing but Vishnu, the astronomer. The Kukulkan picturization is very peculiar, and this peculiarity arises from the physical distance between these two cultures. Nevertheless,
I'm going to give you one of the biggest secrets ever. Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready? Who is Vishnu? Who is Vishnu? Who is Vishnu?
it retained the 3 unmistakable factors: snake, feather, and man. Every Vishnu temple in Tamil Nadu has aspects connecting him to astronomy. Vishnu was a Tamil Asivaga Siddha who specialized in astronomical knowledge. His other names are Kannan, Parshvanath, who has aspects connecting him to astronomy. Vishnu was a Tamil Asivaga Siddha who specialized in astronomical knowledge. His other names are Kannan. Vishnu was a Tamil Asivaga Siddha who specialized in astronomical knowledge. His other names are Kannan. His other names are Kannan, 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 Parshva, Kannan, 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 Parshvanath, Kannan, Parthasarathi, Parshvanath, Parthasarathi, Angarahan, and all these names in Parshvanath, specialized in astronomical knowledge. His other names are Kannan, 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 Kannan.
Vishnu is Kannan, Kannan, Khan. Vishnu is Kannan, the father of the Canaanites, or the Canaanites. So when Kirk goes, Khan! It's actually Vishnu! All we had to do was put our ear to the ground. You guys don't want to read. You just want to be entertained. I put out the real knowledge. And I don't think, you know what? I think the right people understand. I think the ones he wants to understand. You've got to understand how big this is, buddy. Because if you don't, I don't understand why you watch. I don't. All right. Okay. All right. So Parshwanath. Parshwanath. All right. And when we look up Parshwanath, it says Parshwanatha. All right. Now Parshwanath is a man, not a woman. So when I look for him, it gives me this woman, or Parishva. Now, remember, in the video I showed you about the arches, the man states that the arches, they have to deal with conquering the Israelite. Those Israelites were called at the time, I think it's Parsh. Parshia. I'm spelling that wrong. Maybe it's not Parshia. Oh, well, it gives you a family name when you just take Parshia. And well, look at that. Persia came up. All right, so Parthians. Parthia. Yeah, Parthia. And they were in Persia. Why? Because what? Darius and Cyrus. Cyrus dies, Darius takes over. Cyrus is alive during what? The overthrow of Babylon. Cyrus gives money to whom? Well, one of the viewers says, go look at First Esdras, chapter 5. There's a Jesus alive during the time of Nehemiah, during the building of the second temple. Not 40 years before the destruction of the temple. There's a Jesus alive that's leading the people to their new land where the temple will be created. He's side by side with Nehemiah, but he ain't brought up in Nehemiah. Now, this is not no Jesus Christ. Again, that's just a military campaign. And again, the Catholic Church has always controlled the writing. Now, where they get the writing from, what I told you in this video is over and over again, that the Aryan people are what? The Indo-Aryan people are right there in India. So my eSword doesn't want to start. It's broken. It's because I'm recording. So you need to think about how all this plays out. There's one more video I want to play, but I don't think we have time. So we look in 2nd Esdras, chapter 5. Now, principal men and families chosen according to their tribes to go up with the wives and sons and daughters and the men servants and maid servants and their cattle. And Darius sent with them 1,000 horsemen, till they had brought them back to Jerusalem safely with musical instruments. And all their brethren played, and he made them go up together with them. These are the names of the men that went up according to the families among their tribes, after their several heads. The priests, the sons of Phinehas, the son of Aaron. Jesus, now what year is this? Because there's no J. All right. Son of Zodah. And don't say that shit, because that's Joshua with what? A Y. That you don't be a brain dead retard. Don't fall for these people and their fucking Christian trickery. Jesus, the son of Hosedek, son of Sarius, and Jehosham, the son of Zerubbabel. I'm babbling. Zerubbabel, the son of Salephiel, of the house of David, out of the kindred of Pharez, of the tribe of Judah. Now I want to show you something else. Now, if we go to 2nd Esdras, I want to show you something. We'll go to 2nd Esdras chapter 1. Not available in this translation. Man. It was the other day, wasn't it? There, all right. Something's happened. That's funny. All right. Never mind. We're not going to go to 2nd Esdras, but this Jesus is alive, right? Who spake wise sentences before Darius, king of Persia, during the time of Darius. All right. In the 2nd year of his reign, the month of Nisan, which is the 1st month. Now, you can tell there's injections made because the Hebrews did not use months. They did not name months. If you go into the research of what Nisan is, you add a second S and you see it's a fallen. In fact, it's much easier to just show you. Let's see how they spell it again. Nisan. And they're just going to show me cars. It's not, it doesn't exist anymore. Oh, they're trying to show the month there too. about cars. Well, doesn't seem like I can prove it today. Nope, that's still dealing with a month. Well, we'll do it on another video. We're looking up all of them. Alright, let's go back to Son. And these are they of Jewry that came up from the captivity, where they dwelt as strangers, whom Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, carried away into Babylon, and they returned into Jerusalem and to other parts of Jewry, every man to his own city, who came with Zorobabel, with Jesus, Nehemiah, Zacharias. Aren't those two prophets? Nehemiah the what? The foreman? Everybody knows there's a book of Zechariah. Risaias and Emmaus, Mardocheus, Beelsaris, Aspharias, Reelis, Romulus, and Bana. Did you understand that? You know, the first writings that we can find of Rome about Israel is in First Maccabees 8. And they committed, moreover, how they made them for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in a council daily, consulting a way for the people, to the end that they might be well ordered, and that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there were neither envy nor emulation among them. In consideration of these things, Judas Maccabeus, chose Eupolemus, the son of John, the son of Achos, and Jason, the son of Ezra, and sent them to Rome to make a league of amity and confederacy with them, and to entreat them that they would take the yoke from them, for they saw that the kingdom of the Grecians did oppress Israel with servitude. Now, you can see what's going on and how it exists when we deal with these fun facts. We find that these actions taking place in history, where they're taking place, the rivers, we find their gods, which are their forefathers, which they've been hidden from you today until your buddy Lex discovered them. Now, how many people are going to let you know that the Canaanites' forefather Canaan, who was what? Told to leave the land, went to a place and it was called what? India. So there's a Vishnu that they talk about is actually Canaan that we talk about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there isn't too much else I can show you from this. From here, your studies lead you where they lead you.